Greetings, YouTube. This is Rhett with Rolling Forward. We spoke in a previous video about the spinal cord and the spinal column at a somewhat more superficial level. This one is going to delve a little bit deeper into some of the nerves and some of the how the spinal cord, and particularly an injured spinal cord, how it still functions and how it sometimes doesn't function. So, as we noted before, the spinal cord is a large bundle of nerves that runs from the base of your brain down your spinal column, and at each vertebrae level, the spinal cord branches out one bunch of nerves on the left side and one on the right side. And as it goes down, there are branches at each vertebrae which innervate different portions of your body. The nerves in your neck generally go to your shoulders and upper arms. The nerves down in the middle of your chest innervate all the muscles of your chest cavity, and moving down, the nerve branches then travel down your legs and innervate all the muscles in your lower body. Also, those nerves have pathways which bring information up from those portions of your body, so that if someone touches you on the shoulder, that nerve pathway would be into the spinal cord at the level of your neck, more or less, and then up to your brain. And the same down, if someone touches you on the knee, those nervous pathways would travel up your leg and then immediately to your spinal cord, going through the nerve roots at the lumbar or thoracic level, depending on just where the stimulation is coming from. Also, reflexes. You've often visited the doctor, and the doctor will have you sit on a chair or a table with your lower legs dangling, tap you in the front of the knee with a small hammer, and your foot jumps out. We've all had that experience, and that's a simple reflex. And in fact, if you were to do that with me, that nerve reflex would work. It is intact, because those kinds of reflexes do not go to your brain and then back down to your leg. Reflexes such as that are called a single synaptic spinal reflex. And the spinal cord itself is a smart thing. It's not all pathways. There is some rudimentary processing there, so that those kinds of reflexes are still intact in me. They still work. And also the feelings or the sensations of hunger, a stomach ache, those kinds of things I still perceive. I can tell when I've had enough. I can tell when I'm full. If I have a stomach ache, I will complain about it because I am aware of it. And there are other sensory inputs, such as, well, for example, if I were to turn suddenly in my power wheelchair and catch my foot on something and twist my foot, let's say I twisted it far enough to break my leg bones in my lower leg. I did just that about 12 years ago, give or take, and I was getting out of my van. It was a very hot day. I was in a hurry. I turned my wheelchair to get straightened out at the door to exit my van, and I was in a hurry because I was very uncomfortable and hot. So I gave my wheelchair a lot of power. It caught on something and stopped me, so I gave it more power. Well, I twisted my foot and my leg sideways about 90 degrees and broke the lower legs, the bones in my lower leg. I felt a wave, I think you could say, of chills. So I knew I might have done something, but I wasn't sure. I got out of the van and was feeling more and more of this. I'm kind of sweaty. I'm breathing hard. There's perspiration beginning to form on my head and my shoulders. I'm feeling yucky. I'm not feeling pain in my lower leg because I can't feel pain. I did not know what was going on, but it soon became evident as these symptoms of pain and, symptoms of perspiration, increased heartbeat, increased blood pressure, and that's what was making me feel a pounding headache. Well, I knew something was wrong. I didn't yet know what or where. However, in the next hour or so, we quickly determined by examining me physically, looking at my body to see, is there an injury or a wound? Well, my ankle was very, very swollen, so it was pretty apparent where it was, the injury was. So I knew something was wrong, but I didn't quite know where or what. That kind of response is caused by the autonomic nervous system, which includes the sympathetic and the parasympathetic system, which we can think of, and we have all probably heard of, the fight or flight reflex. Something's wrong, your body is going to instantly gear up to deal with this environmental assault, whatever it is, but we have to do something so the body is preparing to fight or to flee. And it is arousing the body and its symptoms to be prepared for big action. Now, in a person with a spinal cord injury, that autonomic response is less inhibited because of the damage to the spinal cord. And so I can literally experience elevated blood pressure to a level that is dangerous. Dangerous in that it could cause a stroke, that kind of thing. And it is also physically uncomfortable. Now that is a nervous system other than the spinal cord and the central nervous system, but it's still intact, it's still working, as with me. My body automatically reminds me to breathe, automatically reminds me to not fall over, although it'd be hard for me since I'm sitting down, but it can keep me aware of my head's position in space, and it helps my body keep track of itself and to maintain itself. There was a question to the channel regarding phantom pain. Do I feel phantom pain? I don't. I have, however, known people, I have some friends who have spinal cord injuries and who indeed have phantom pain. And so that's more of an individual or variable phenomenon. Not everyone does experience it. Some do, and it can be very much problematic in your life if it's severe and constant. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there with some of the functions of the spinal cord and There will be more detail coming up. I want to thank you for watching. I want to invite you to come back. Please press subscribe. Please like. And thank you, YouTube. Ciao.